Okay, last time we were talking about meter in chapter 2, and there was some confusion, and I said, hang tight, let me bring the books from Canada. The Canadians will straighten us out. Do y'all remember this?
It's coming back.
There was a specific line in our chapter, and it was like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. And I said, I got an answer for you. Do you remember what that line was?
Was it like
It
3/8 was a
was
simple meter?
Yeah, it had to do with 3/4.
Oh, 3/4.
Or
Wait,
no,
was it
no, no,
3/4?
no, no. It had to do with triple time. You're right.
Okay.
There was a specific line that I didn't like, and everyone had a question about it in both sections.
it on self-test 2-3?
Let's see. No, I don't even think we got to that.
That's on page 28.
I'm not seeing that. Oh, 2.3 you're saying.
Yeah.
Might have been.
It was like the second question in that one, I think.
Yeah. Simple triple. The beat note is the 8th note. The division of the beat is the 16th note, right? We were confused because 3/8 could be a simple triple, right? But what's the definition of their compound?
So you split the beat into three equal parts as opposed to two.
Right. So let me just hop into the Canadian books and I'll show you how they make it. There is a conservatory in Toronto, and it's called the Royal Conservatory of Music. And they have their own curriculum. Here is their theory curriculum book. There's a prep level, and then there's a level 1 through 8 for their theory book. When you get to level 9, it specifically talks about harmony, and when you get to level 10, it's harmony and counterpoint, and that's kind of like college level stuff in Canada when you get to those levels. So prep 1 through 8. So I actually teach this theory curriculum with my private piano students. And I know that several of you wish you would have had theory taught to you from a young age. We stand on the shoulders of our teachers, so you can be the one that changes it for the next generation and teaches theory to your students. Yes? And if you're interested in more of that kind of stuff, we are trying to launch a piano teaching certificate at City College, and we launched a piano teaching class this semester for the first time. And that's being offered Mondays from 2 to 4:40. So if that's something that you're interested in the future, that will hopefully be offered again in the fall. Piano Teaching 2 will be offered in the spring. So let me read to you the way. This is actually level 5. I'm gonna read level 5. It's the green one. These are not cheap theory books. It's $20 for this book, but I find them to be the best so far that I can find. So this is their definition of compound time. All the time signatures studied so far are classified as simple time signatures. The basic beat is typically divided into two. There are some time signatures in which the basic beat is subdivided into groups of three. We call these compound time signatures. In both 3/4 and 6/8, there are in both 3/4 and 6/8, there are 6/8 notes in each measure. In 3/4, the eighth notes are grouped in twos. 3/4 is an example of simple time. In 6/8, the eighth notes are grouped in threes. 6/8 is an example of compound time. In simple time, the top number represents the number of beats in each measure, while the bottom number represents the value of the note that receives one beat. In compound time, the top number represents the number of pulses in each measure, while the bottom number represents the value of the note that receives one pulse. The pulses are grouped in threes. Each group of 3 pulses is felt as one beat. Does that help at all?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Other thoughts and questions? So simple rhythms, I shouldn't say rhythms, simple time signatures can be subdivided into two. Compound time signatures can be subdivided into groups of 3. In simple meter, the eighth notes are grouped into twos. In compound meter, the eighth notes are grouped into threes. In simple meter, the top number is representing the number of beats. In compound meter, the top number is referring to the number of pulses. Questions, comments, concerns, friends with questions.
I don't get the pulses part.
Okay. So you can think of pulses as the subdivision. The eighth notes. The 1 and 2 and 3 and. Cool. Other questions? I want to make sure you get it. Even if I don't. This is the most challenging chapter we'll have this semester.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it said like 3/4 was simple time signature because it can be
Right.
grouped into two. What does it
Right.
mean by grouping that into two?
Let's read. In 3/4, the eighth notes are grouped into two. So let me show you on my whiteboard. Does that make sense? I just saw a light bulb go on.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So 3, 4. We're going to have groupings of 2/8 notes. Yep. But if we go to 6/8, we're going to have groupings of 3/8 notes. And we're going to beam them that way. We're not going to have a triplet number. We're not going to have a 3 above them. But that's how we're going to beam them.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Other questions? All right. Let's hop back into our chapter. Because we just had a few pages left for this chapter, right? Okay, we made it through self-test 2-4 on page, well, in my book it's page 31, yes? I think we're on time signature summarized. I think we have 6 pages left. All right, time signature summarized. There are 2 types of beat, simple and compound, and 3 common meters, duple, triple, and quadruple, which can be combined in a total of 6 ways. For each of these 6 combinations, there is a number that will always appear as the top part of the time signature. So in simple, it's always going to be 2, 3, or 4. Compound, it could be 6, 9, or 12. A listener can usually recognize the beat and meter types of a passage without seeing the music. Therefore, you can usually say that the top number of the time signature is, except that duple. Whoa. Let me try that again. Therefore, you can usually say what the top number of the time signature is, except that duple and quadruple are often indistinguishable. However, to know that the bottom number of the time However, to know what the bottom number of the time signature is, you have to look at the music, because any number representing a note value can be used for any meter. Did that make sense? To know what the bottom number of the time signature is, you have to look at the music, because any number representing a note value can be used for any meter. So then they give a little table that shows x over 1. What is the beat duration going to be? This is when we drew the pie, the pizza pie last time. Do you remember that? If we have a whole pie, 1, the
1.
whole note is going to get the beat. Do you remember this?
Might be helpful if you share the text
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
just so we don't have to keep going back and forth on the screen.
Remember, Sydney, we drew a pizza pie and we said whenever the number on the bottom is a 1, you're going to have a whole note be your beat.
Yes, I do remember that.
That is what they're talking about here. And the compound beat duration would be a dotted brev. So this is the sentence that we're talking about. To know the bottom number of your time signature is, you have to look at the music. If your bottom number is a 2, you know that your beat value is going to be the half note. If we're in simple, or it's going to be a dotted whole note if we're in compound. If your bottom number is a 4, your simple beat duration will be the quarter note. Your compound beat duration will be a dotted half note. If your bottom number is an 8, your eighth note will be your simple beat duration. Your dotted quarter note will be your compound beat duration. And if your bottom number is 16, your bottom note will be your simple beat duration will be a dotted 16th. I'm sorry, just a 16th versus a dotted 8th in compound. Remember that the bottom number of a time signature stands for the beat value in simple time signature and the division value in a compound time signature. See, the book finally came up with the right Canadian answer, but they came up with it way too late. They should have started with that like the Canadians. Get off. That's the first time they mentioned that, is it not? Seems.
Yeah.
Are we clear on this so far? Mateo, you're here. All right. Going on. More duration symbols. When rhythms are notated, it is customary to use rests, beams, ties, and dots in such a way that the metric accent and the individual beats are emphasized rather than obscured. Several incorrect and correct examples are notated in the following table. I will pull that up. But I will also say that the Canadians are even more strict on this than we are. Did anybody else join us before since I took roll? Is Trey here? Is Ezekiel here? Mateo, I got you. All right. Here we are. Now, this is the thing that I've distinguished from the Canadians. If you are in a duple meter or quadruple meter, the thing to do is to separate the measure in half and never beam anything across that halfway line. You could have a rest across the halfway, or not a tie across the halfway line, but you don't want to combine note values or rests across that halfway bifurcation. Does that make sense to everyone?
And this is for simple and compound.
I want to say yes. Let me go back and double check that I'm not lying to you. So let's go. Can we go to 2-4 real quick? I'm going to go to my whiteboard. And I'm going to clear everything. Here are the three things that I would write down. When filling in missing rests, keep in mind that a strong beat cannot be combined with the weaker beats that follow. A weak beat cannot be combined with a stronger beat that follows. And a weak beat cannot be combined with a medium beat that follows. I know that I have a friend out there that wants me to say that all again. So I will. I'm going to type it on the screen for you. That way you can screenshot it. All right. Rules from Canada. Number 1. A strong beat can be combined with the weaker beats that follow. Come on. There we go. Number 2. A weak beat cannot be combined with a stronger beat that follows. That would be going across my halfway line. Number 3. A weak beat cannot be combined with a medium beat that follows. Questions, comments?
Wouldn't 2 and 3 be the same?
What time signature are we talking about?
I mean, where it's saying that a weak beat
is-
cannot be combined
this
with a
is-
stronger beat. Well,
this
with
is
a weak
only-
beat, medium beats are stronger.
This is only for duple and quadruple meter.
Okay.
Wait, maybe that's not true. That's not true. Wait for 3. Your question was about triple, right?
I was meaning that number 2 and number 3 of the rules are the same.
No, because in compound it's different than for simple.
Let me show a bunch of examples, okay? So if we are in, where's my little annotate button? Where did it go? There it is. Okay. If we're in 2/4, we can have a rest on our strong beat and we can have a note on our weak beat and everybody's fine. We can reverse that and have a note on our strong beat and a rest on our weak beat and everybody's fine. We can have an eighth note and an eighth rest and an eighth rest and an eighth note, and all is well with the world. But we cannot have an eighth note, a quarter rest, and an eighth note. That is no bueno. Because we combined across the halfway line. We combine a weak beat with a strong beat. The weak beat, the end of 1, got combined with the strong. Sorry, the strong beat, the end of 1 got combined with the weak beat, the downbeat of beat 2. You with me?
Yes.
Okay, so that was 2/4. Can I erase? You got your screenshot?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to 2/8. An eighth rest, eighth note, no problem, right? The reverse of that, no problem. 16th note, 16th rest, no problem. The reverse of that, no problem. 16th note, 8th rest, 16th note, problem. Same thing, just at quicker rhythm values, right? We've combined the strong beat, second half of beat 1, with the weak beat, first half of beat 2. And we shouldn't have across this medium halfway line. With me?
Yes.
Okay. The same could be done for 2/2. Half rest, half note, and vice versa. Quarter, quarter rest, quarter rest, quarter note, fine, no problem, because we got our halfway bifurcation here. But we cannot go quarter, half rest, quarter. Same thing. We combined across our halfway line. With me?
Yeah.
All right, so we're now going to go to the world of 4-4. So what is the strong, weak beat makeup of 4-4?
Strong, weak, medium, weak.
Strong, weak, medium, weak. All right, so we can have a half rest, and we can have a half note. No problem. Which gives us strong, weak, medium, weak. Right? We could reverse that. We could do the quarter note, quarter rest, quarter rest, quarter note. Still, we're not combining strong, weak, medium, weak. We cannot have the quarter rest, the half rest, quarter note, because we combined across. We combined a weak beat with a medium beat. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. So we can do this for any time signature. I want to go do it for triple now. We could do it for 4-2. We could do it for 4-8. Okay, we're now in 3-4. So with 3-4, you don't want to. 3-4 is a little different. Because what's the strong weak combo for 3-4?
Strong, weak, weak.
Strong weak weak. So we still can't combine two weeks. So we can have strong, weak, weak. We can combine strong and weak. So we can have strong, weak, weak. We can have strong, weak, weak. But we can't have strong, weak, weak. You with me?
Yeah.
You can
No,
combine.
can you say that again?
Sure. So we can combine strong with weak, like we did here. But we can't combine weak with weak, like we tried to do there.
Why not?
It's against the rules.
Which one?
It's against this one.
But it's a weak beat, not a medium beat.
Yeah.
You can make a fourth rule. A weak can't be combined with a weak.
Well, the problem with that, though. Yeah, I guess we could. Here's what I want you to see, Catherine, in 3-4. In the duple meters, we put this bifurcation in our halfway line, and we couldn't combine across the bifurcation, right? And there's no problem there. You can combine It's just hard to say. You can combine them 1 and 2, but you can't combine them 2 and 3. Does that make sense? Because they're 2 weeks.
Okay.
In triple meter, rests on beat 1 and 2 can either be shown separately or combined. Beats 2 and 3 are both weak. For this reason, rests on beats 2 and 3 cannot be combined.
Is there an instance where they can be?
Not in Canada.
Okay, so just think of it as rule 4.
Right. We could.
We can't go with week.
Let's go to 3-8. What does that look like?
It would be the same thing, just
Strong.
different values.
Yep, same thing but different values. Oh, wow, that was weird.
Isn't it just one beat though?
What do you mean?
Because they count it as a dotted quarter note as the beat.
No, they don't. They don't. 3-8. Well, that's when they say you got to look at the music. It's very clear that the 8th note gets the beat here, right?
Okay.
Okay, is this acceptable?
Yes.
Is this acceptable?
No.
No. Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Yes. We good?
Yeah.
Is this acceptable?
No.
Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Now we're going to go on to harder stuff. Are you ready? Combining single beats with rests. When adding rests to a measure, each beat must be made complete before continuing to fill any additional beats with silence. Sometimes completing the beat requires more than one rest. Each part of the beat should be completed before starting the next part. So if we are in 2-2, we have an 8th note. We have to put in an 8th rest, and we have to complete beat 1 by putting in a quarter rest. And we could do the reverse of that for beat 2. Does that make sense?
Can you say it again?
Sure. So we had an 8th note to start. So we have to fill in the next part of that with that. Because we have to complete the beats. And in this case, they're completing the subdivisions. And then we started with that because we wanted this to be on the very last beat. So we have to put the quarter note rest there, the quarter rest there, and then fill it in there. You get that this does not work. Essentially what I'm saying is, on a different level, they're also putting in smaller subdivisions, smaller bifurcations in addition. Have I lost you?
Yeah. Well, I understand.
Okay. So question, could they do this?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal in Canada.
They'll arrest you and give you a large fine.
You'll be
Oh,
under
rest.
arrest. But
Hee hee.
these are the jokes, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all semester. Don't
Oh,
forget to
God.
fill out your student
Good luck,
evaluations. All right, you ready for some doozies? You want a tough assignment? A tough question?
Probably would be a wise idea.
All right, here we go.
I was about to say, do we have a choice?
You always have a choice. Okay, we're going to go 4-4. And we're going to have to complete the measure. Except for there's going to be these little brackets. And that's what we got to fill in. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, no good. And that's going to be followed by it is so hard drawing with the mouse sometimes. Then we're going to come down here for line 2, which is just you with me? All right, so here we are, 4-4 land. We know there's kind of this halfway point right here, right? So what has to go there?
First would be a quarter rest.
Okay. Followed by,
Eighth rest.
and we can't make that a dotted quarter?
No.
Why?
We can,
Why can we?
because it's a medium beat or a strong beat followed by a weaker beat.
We can't because a weak beat cannot be combined with a medium beat that follows. This is beat 3, our medium beat. This is beat 4, our weak beat. We cannot combine those two. You with me, Peter?
But it was saying that follows.
A weak beat cannot be combined. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So you're saying you can.
Correct.
I'm telling you that the answer key from Canada says you should do it this way. Now, what are the pros and cons of combining that?
You have less stuff to write, but it's harder to count.
It's harder to decipher, isn't it?
Yeah, this is easier to just
So
read.
I would not combine it. This clearly shows where the beat is. Yeah?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, this measure, what do we got to fill in here? The other reason, Peter, is that bit that we read just a second ago, which talked about completing single beats with rests. We have to complete each part of the beat before starting the next part. Yeah?
So here,
Yeah.
I think we start with a 16th rest.
What does that do?
And then follow that with an 8th rest. That would complete the first beat. Or is that unnecessary?
Ooh. I see what you're saying. No, I think you're right. But what are we missing?
A quarter.
Does that make sense? Next measure. We can just put a half rest right here, right? Call it a day?
No.
No, you didn't fall for my trick. What do we have to put in there?
2 quarter rests.
2 quarter rests. All right, what about here?
Quarter rest.
Awesome. Are we good with that? All right, you ready for a doozy?
You said that last time.
Yeah, I know. I
Oh.
was about to say, but what about that one?
I'm for reals now. We're in 6/8. We're not messing around.
Oh, damn.
All right,
Like-
we're going to put... Go ahead. Say again?
Thought you were gonna do like 5/8 or something.
Oh, no.
Stop giving me ideas.
We're going to do 5 plus 3 over 8. All right, here we are in 6/8 land. We need to come up with rests for the bracketed areas. The last one's easy. What's the last one?
A whole rest.
I thought a whole rest only got 4 counts.
But it also matches whatever the beat, or not beat, the top
I'm
note, the full measure, unless it's past 2/2.
Okay,
So like 3/2 can't.
so a whole rest means for the whole measure?
Yes, except for when it's above 3/2/2.
Okay. All right, what do we need here? What is the beat combination for 6/8?
Strong, weak, weak, and then the medium, weak, weak? Or would it be? Yeah.
Right. So what needs to go here? Yes?
I feel like that's illegal.
You feel like that's illegal?
Yeah,
Why?
because you're combining weak beats and medium beats.
I'm combining weak beats following medium beats, but I'm not combining weak beats with a medium.
Okay.
Now, this doesn't apply anymore, does it? Or does it? Those rules that I read you, what were they good for? They were only good for duple and quadruple. I forgot to read you this part. Let's do this, shall we? I've confused you all. In simple time, the top number represents the number of beats in a measure, while the bottom number represents the value of the note that receives one beat. In compound time, the top number represents the number of pulses in each measure, while the bottom number represents the value of each note that receives one pulse. The pulses are grouped in threes. Each group of 3 pulses is felt as one beat. 6/8 is classified as compound duple time. There are 6 pulses in each measure, but 2 main beats. Strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak. We talked about that. Where's the part I want to talk about? Okay, in 6/8, as in other time signatures, rests show the basic beats. A whole rest is used for a full measure of silence. Dotted quarter rests are generally used to show the main beat. A quarter rest followed by an eighth rest is also acceptable. A strong pulse can be combined with the weaker pulse that follows. Here's our compound rules. A strong pulse can be combined with the weaker pulse that follows. A weak pulse cannot be combined with another weak pulse. A weak pulse cannot be combined with the strong or medium pulse that follows. Now this gets confusing because 6/8 we're really filling in what?
Just 2 beats.
Yeah, there's 2 beats. We got beat 1 and beat 2. So you can combine these like we did there.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this is correct. So you can also do this. To me, that's harder to figure out, but that is acceptable. You cannot do this.
Because that would emphasize the pulses too much.
Yeah, and it takes away that feeling of 2. You cannot do this. But you can do this. That's confusing to me.
Well, it shows which beat gets the emphasis. That one.
I guess, yeah.
'Cause it's 1, not 2.
Kind of shows also like an anacrusis to the next medium beat. Okay, so what can we put here? In measure 2 here.
You basically wrote it, but it's already on the lower half.
We could do this
Or that.
or that. Good. What do we need here?
In eighth.
What do we need here? Dun dun dun.
Eighth note, eighth note.
Eighth rest, eighth rest.
That's what I meant, yeah.
We cannot put a quarter, right?
Right, because the week can't be combined with a week.
Yay, Canada. Saved the day. Shall we do another? I know you're dying to do another one.
Please and thank you.
I'm just going to clear everything. Okay, we're back in 6/8. We got this big bracket followed by an eighth note. We got a 16th note followed by a big bracket. We got a 16th note followed by a bracket followed by 16th note, and then we have bracket followed by quarter note. Got to fill in our holes. What do we got to do first?
Quarter, dotted quarter.
Dotted quarter rest.
And then 2 eighth rests.
Ooh, do we want 2 eighth rests? Can we do this?
Yes.
Yep. Next measure.
Sixteenth rest. And then, yeah.
Does that work? Can we do that?
Now I just feel scared whenever I answer.
I know. Fail with glory, as I like to say. All right, we got a 16th note, so we got to fill that in with a 16th rest. True?
True.
Followed by
An eighth rest, eighth rest.
8th rest, 8th rest. Followed
And then-
by
Or no.
And then you just mirror it. It's an eighth rest, then followed by a 16.
Can we do that?
No, yeah. And then a 16th.
That's how Canada tells us to do it.
thought we were a free country.
We are, and we're free to follow Canada. Now what?
Quarter.
What?
Just an eighth, right?
That's what I meant.
Are we getting a handle on this?
Slowly.
I would say this is super important to know for life and somewhat important to know for this class.
Because when you might need it when you're like in the grocery store.
Right. You never know when you're going to hop in the cash cab.
You never
There
know
you
when Dr. Bascom's gonna pop out around the corner and be like, "What's the 16th?" and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Can you combine a strong and a weak beat? $100 cash on the line.
Honestly, if they had a music game show, that'd be amazing.
They do have a music game show, and it's called MAA. I can't remember what it's called. MACCC. There's a theory competition that's coming up. There's also a composition contest coming up. And if you want more info on it, send me an email and I'll send it to you.
Didn't Gibson get second last year?
I'm not sure. We've had good success though. The first year they did it, I think Fresno City College got second and third. So they'll send you theory questions for the beginning rounds. I don't know how they're going to do it this year, if it's all going to be Zoom or what, but they send questions and you get points for solving the problems for the preliminary rounds to make it to the finals. But yeah, we've had a good showing from our college.
Do we use the Canvas email website thing, or do we use like our student email on Outlook or whatever?
I would always use student email for everything.
No, I meant the Canvas is
Oh, yeah.
thing,
Doesn't
or
matter. Goes
Okay.
It goes the same place. It's nicer in Canvas. But all right. Hopping back in our book. So we just learned about how to do this from Canada. So I think we can skip our book's version of it. A tuplet refers to the division of an undotted value into some number of equal parts other than 2, 4, 8, and so on, or the division of a dotted value into some number of equal parts other than 3, 6, 12, and so on, as you can see in the following table. I hate that definition. The definition that I like is that a tuplet is using borrowed meter. You're using a compound meter in a simple meter, or a simple meter in a compound meter. So if we're in simple meter, we're putting a compound meter in the span of a simple meter value. Or if we're in a compound value, we're putting a simple meter in the compound meter.
I like that much better too.
So we're just borrowing for the beat. Hey, look, there's a hippopotamus. Do you see the hippopotamus? Do you see a hippopotamus anywhere on the page?
the last one.
It's right here.
Careful, he's dangerous. Don't get too close.
Hook it with a 10-foot pole.
Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus.
They're so dangerous, honestly. They kill more people than sharks and other animals. But I think it's the deadliest animal in the world. Besides, or mammal. I don't know about. spiders and snakes and things.
Just play them fast and don't overthink it.
Yeah, just get them all in. Try to make them the same. Okay, beams. We need to talk about beams. This is where I failed in life. Right here, beams. Beams are used to connect durations shorter than a quarter note when the durations occur within the same beat. Not all professional copyists follow the same rules for determining the stem direction of beamed notes. Our preference is to decide the direction of the stems on the basis of the note that is farthest from the middle line. That is, if the note that is farthest from the middle line is below it, all the stems that are to be beamed together will point upward. That's fun. They didn't even tell us what the beam rule is. What is the beam rule? Does anybody have a beam rule?
Anything below, or yeah, anything below the middle line, or yeah, line goes down or goes up, and anything above the middle line goes down. And for the middle line, the beam goes down.
So for beamed notes in space 2 or lower, the stems go up. For beamed notes on line 3 or higher, the stems go down. For beamed notes with notes below and above line 3, the stems go in the same direction as the note that is the farthest from line 3. That's Canadia's rule. Generally, notes are beamed in groups that show the basic beat of the time signature. They are sometimes beamed together if units larger than the basic beat, in units larger than the basic beat, in order to show the overall shape and direction of a melody. Did you get that?
No.
All right, here we are. So here's our middle line. So if you are on the middle line or higher, your beams are going to go down on the left. You with me? If your notes are below, your beams are going to go up on the right. You with me? If they combine,
Okay, I get it.
for beam notes with notes above and below, they say that you're going to have your stems go the same direction as the note that is the farthest from line 3. Well, the note that's farthest from line 3 is this note.
G or B, depending on who you ask.
Say that again?
I said that's G or B or
Right.
even A, depending on who you ask.
Depending on your clef. Yeah, we could make it anything, can't we? So because that's the farthest, we're going to follow that one. And beam them like that.
That's a new sound.
Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of sounds over here. Are we okay with that beaming rule? Does that work? Questions? I've got pages and pages and pages of theory just dripping with red ink from my teachers saying, follow the stem rules. Because I had a hard time with it.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Okay. Back to the book. Let's see if we can finish it.
Finish the whole book?
That'd be great, wouldn't it? All right, so we talked about beams. Let's do a self-test here. See if we still have it. 4-4. Is that simple quad? Beat note?
Quarter note,
Division of the beat?
eighth note, true eighth notes.
There you go. Compound triple. Dotted quarter. Division of the beat?
3/8 notes.
Time signature?
9/8.
Is it?
Yes.
What is 3/8?
Simple 1
Is it?
or compound 1. I don't.
Wait, which one are we looking at?
Triple. Could compound triple be 3/8 is my question for you.
No.
No, it would
Well,
be
maybe.
simple. Simple triple, right?
Where are we? I'm so lost.
On the self-test, right?
Which self-test are we doing?
I have a 3.
You had it up. Let's
I
see.
know, I lost it. Give me a second. Oh, man. Come on, computer. Let me go to my book. So 3/8. What is 3/8?
Self-test. Yes. I'm pretty sure it's simple triple, but
Agreed. I think it's simple triple.
What is my computer doing? Yeah. Simple triple. Okay, it will not go where we were. We were in fundamentals. Self-test, what were we on? 2-5.
5.
All right, we're back. But
There
we
it
lost
is.
everything. Okay. So we're on number 3. We have 2-8. What do we know?
Asymmetric compound.
Say what? That's not a choice, is it?
It'd just be simple duple, right?
Yeah.
If you want, I'll stop answering all of them.
No, it's fine. Unless someone else wants to answer.
I did.
Okay, compound duple. Is that right?
Yep.
And the time signature class?
It's the same one as a Claire de Lune, I think.
No. It is
No,
not.
it's not. Okay, forgot what that was in.
What's it gonna be?
6-4.
6-4.
Yeah.
Claire Loon's a 9-8.
Yeah, you're right. Now I know what I was thinking.
Okay, if this is division of the beat, then the beat is going to be half note. Is that true?
Is the 3 on the top or the bottom?
That is a great question.
It's hard to tell. It's like I would think it'd be on
3
the
is on the top.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
This has to match the bottom number, so we got. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Well, that doesn't always work though for compound though, does it?
But we're not in compound, so
All right. Okay. 12 is on the top. Our beat duration is 3/16, which means our beat note is
Dotted eighth note.
dotted eighth.
12-8.
or 12, 16, right? It's-
Which is it and why? So if this is the beat note, you're going to have 3 of these per beat.
And it's going to be 12 and
If
8.
there's a 12 involved, we know it's quadruple, right?
Compound.
Compound quadruple. So we're going to have 4 beats of this. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we know we have 12, 16. Catherine, are you with me?
Yeah.
Is anybody else with me? We went way over time. So next time we will finish up chapter 2 and be done with it. Hallelujah. We have 2.5 pages left. And we are done. Questions, comments, concerns, friends with questions. I will see you all tomorrow in ear training.
Sounds good.
Bye.